How's it going? Wooden Spoon Supercoach here with Flat Out Footy. All the planning has come down to now. We're doing our final teams. Little bit of a pinch of salt on final teams because we do still have the majority of teams lists to come out. And even in the last 24 hours, there's been some pretty big news. So there might be a few little tweaks here and there, but I think I'm 90% locked on this team and I'm very happy with it. Before we get into that, the prize pool is sitting at $782. We got 1945 added last week. Very good work punting in the comments. Don't forget to leave your tips for this weekend. Personally, I think we could be seeing 2 13+ games, but it's very hard to pick at the start of the year. We don't really know what's happening. The code is 899247 for the group league for this prize pool. Get in there, get involved. It's been heaps of fun already, and the season hasn't even started. Thanks to Flat Out Footy and Mac for the starting prize pool of $750, which is the biggest prize pool of any free league that I've seen. And I've been looking, so I'm pretty sure it is the best one. But Mac, what is Flat Out Footy? Tell us about it.
Let's go. Stoked to be here, Vegas, this weekend. Flat Out Footy is a rugby league board game coming out later this year, folks. So if you like rugby league and you like board games, then jump on the website and check it out, flatoutfooty.com. Plays like real footy. We follow rugby league rules, and there you've got positional cards for each position, some coach cards, including a captain's challenge and special kicks and set plays and stuff. 6 tackles per turn. Great stuff, folks. Great stuff. So jump on it, flatoutfooty.com. If you love footy and you love board games, you will love it. Coming out later this year. And let's go with the comments of the tips. I got the Cowboys 13+.
Yep.
And then Bulldogs 1-12. That's what I reckon.
Yeah, last week I did say 13+ for both. I think I am leaning a bit more to the 1-12 with the Bulldogs just because they're more of a defense heavy team. I think the Cowboys are going to blow the Knights out of the water, so 13+ there for me for sure. For the Bulldogs, could we even see an upset? I really doubt it, but it'd be cool to see. The Dragons do typically play better at the start of the season.
They do, and it's going to be a gritty game, but I reckon if we're going to see an upset, it'll be in the other one. It'll be the Knights getting the upset. But copying my answers again, I see, mate. Yeah. So let's get into the teams. Yeah, I just see how much of my team you've copied.
I actually don't do any of my own research. I just reword what you do and then go with that. But yeah, we'll get into the teams. We'll start off with the forwards. So, big news coming out lately about Brandon Smith and his calf injury. It has been said to be a 1 to 2 week injury from the scans. NRL Physio seems to think he'll be coming back in round 5, and I go with him. It makes sense. The Rabbitohs have a bye in round 4, so they only need to rest him for round 3, which is 1 extra week to give him that insurance that he is all good. I've started with Reed Marnie instead of him. I did have to move some stuff around in the backs, but we'll get to that. Todd Payton has come out and said that Reed Marnie is going to play 80 minutes. That's enough for me. The Sonny Luke on the bench thing was a little concerning, but either way, if he does come on for a few minutes, I still think Reed Marnie's going to make a good bit of money, and I will be downgrading him to Brandon Smith probably in round 8, because if he comes back in round 5, his price will change going into round 8. That's plenty of time for Reed Marnie to make a bit of money, and then I can downgrade to Brandon Smith, and then I've got heaps of money to upgrade elsewhere, so I really like that plan. Obviously, Harry Grant, he's been in my team for a long time now. Don't really need to talk about him. 600k is very cheap for him. He needs to lift in this really decimated Storm side, who's lost Coates now as well. So that argument gets even stronger. My front row forward also hasn't changed much. Payne Haas, Keon Koloamatangi. I believe I started with those two in the team picker. I veered away from it. Now I've come back after the stat changes. And on the bench, Paseka, just easy lock and load pick. A lot of people are going to have him. And Laiafi, I just love the guy. He looks like a force to be reckoned with in the trials. Don't want to put too much stock on everything that happens in the trials because, it's trials. Everyone knows that it's a little bit, hearsay. So with Laiafi, if he does get a bench spot, I'll keep him. I doubt he gets a starting spot. If he does, that'd be sick. If he doesn't get a spot, then more likely than not, he's going to become an A nightmare rather than enough. So then I'll just flip him over to Miles Martin, and that is easy. Second row forward, Tino, David Fafita, Trey Mooney. I think these guys, at least 2 of the 3 are going to be circulating around in many, many teams. having a look at your team, you've gone a bit of a different direction, which I really like to see. I love the variety. Yeah, not much to say. Tino's a gun. Fafita is a gun. Trey Mooney, undervalued. Don't need to go into that too much. Colhoun, the news on what's his face, McInnes, his injury return doesn't look like it's going to be super expedited, so he'll have plenty of time to make money. Patson, likely to get that starting spot. My only concern with him is the 2 head knocks in the preseason. So if he was to get a third, we may see a bit of an extended layoff for him. But again, 275k starting second rower for the Titans. Don't mind it. Then I also have Cooper Bye, likely to get that bench spot. These bench forwards, I am a little bit hesitant on, but I think Bye is probably one of the better ones. I think he's definitely going to get some decent minutes. And I'm also not too worried about having 3 Titans in the second row forward. Queenslander in the last video made a very good point that I completely forgot about. Tino's going to get the front row duel, so I can flip him up top. Either way, though, once that round 8, I think, Bye comes around, I'm going to need to replace all of them, but I'd like to think either Patson or Bye has peaked at that point, so I can get rid of one, and then, 1 forward and 1 second rower on the Bye is very easy to cover.
We can touch on the halfbacks in the next part if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
It just crops a bit better
Yeah,
if you
that's all
have it
good.
like this.
That
I
is
like it.
fine.
I like it. It's solid. I got to say, there's some stuff that I like, particularly in the front row. I can see we've got a very similar strategy going on.
Yes.
But yep, for me, hooker 1, Harry Grant, lock and load. Doesn't have a buy till like round 12. It's underpriced. That's why he's the most popular hooker. I'm going on the Iwelu train, and similar thing, plans to downgrade him after making some cash into Brandon Smith after that Bunnies buy. So yep, I'll jump off and onto Brandon Smith around sort of round 5 or 6, maybe 7, just before the price jump, depending on how well Ioelu's going. Then yeah, I didn't mean to copy your front row forwards exactly, but I did end up landing on Keon as my front row forward too as well. And I went for Flegler, the Dolphin, over Paseka, the Sea Eagle there, which is classic coming up here from Queensland. That's a very good one. But I'm with you on the Liafi train. I think that's going to be good. Second row, this is where I decided to make some pod plays. So Tino, very popular. I'm going for Beau Fermor. I think he's going to play every week. He's looking really hungry. Outside Brimo, he averages a lot higher. He scored a great try in the trials, and I don't see why that sort of effort isn't going to continue. So I'm on the Beau Fermor pod play, and then I'm going heavy on the tackle machines. So, but instead of grabbing Isaiah Yeo, a really popular choice for that sort of reason, I'm going for Pat Carrigan. So I'm hoping that he'll, with the dual position, he'll be handy, and he'll also get a bit of a value bump and could just be a rock in my team for like the entire year. Then I do have Dave Fafita as well, but he's on the bench at the moment because I've got Luciano Leilua starting in Vegas tomorrow, so he's on the starting side. And this is where the pod play comes in, because I wasn't really convinced on getting a $400,000 second rower, but with the confusion, what's happening at the Storm and the back rowers, there's a lot of value still to be had with Fafita, Colhoun, Patson, or Bye. If Bye gets a starting spot, I'll just shift Patson down to Bye, so that'll be good. So yeah, Luciano Leilua though, I think he's going a bit under the radar. He played over 70 minutes in the trial. I expect him to play like 80 minutes on the edge for the Dragons. They're going to be in a tough battle against the Bulldogs, and if he runs a good line, he might even get through for a sneaky attacking stat or two. So I'm pretty hyped on Leilua. I was trying to find a way to get him into my team, and Sam Walker's unreal trial performance is what did it for me. Saved a bit of cash, moved some money around, ended up getting Leilua in the second row. Yeah, obviously Colhoun and Paxton on the bench. The ones in here for me which aren't necessarily a lock that I'm looking for team list still is Liafi. I'm hoping Liafi is getting game time. I actually want him to make money, even if it's off the bench. And Paxton, if Cooper Bye gets a start, I'll be switching Paxton to Cooper Bye. Otherwise, I'm good to go with these guys.
Love it. I think Leilua, if he goes over for even 2 tries in the first 2 weeks, he's going to be one of those guys that everyone is scrambling to get for price changes, because he's got the base. He's really trimmed up. I think he's in for a big year. Couple of attacking stats, and all of a sudden he could be looking at making a couple of 100k very quickly. So I do really like that one. I'd love to fit him in. I just don't know. Maybe I could jig it around and get him in for Colhoun, but nah, this is my final team. I've put enough thought into it. I don't need to jumble shit around anymore, but who knows what's going to happen next week with teams list. So hopefully no changes. But yeah, I really like it. Something I forgot to mention on Brandon Smith really quick. A lot of people I think are going to jump on him in round 5 when he does, more likely come back. He might come back in round 3. I don't know why the Rabbitohs would risk that with their kind of injury crisis they've had over the last few years. But with a calf, they're quite niggly and they stick around. So I would want to have a look at him for a couple of games, see what his output's like, because you never know. He could just be a bit of a plotter. They might even ease him back off the bench. So I think the round 8 play is quite important for Brandon Smith there. And then we don't have to think about it and make a trade at hooker for a couple of months. Loelu, Robson's back round 4 or 5, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's where I'm probably happy. Just once Iolo gets his minutes taken back off him, I'll just switch over to Brandon Smith because he's going to be like essentially a season hold. If I'm a week or two early, like I don't mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once Iolo stops playing before his price drops, I will jump over to Brandon Smith essentially. I just didn't want to free up enough money to go up to Marnie. Marnie is a really good play. Like that's essentially what I wanted to do, but I just didn't want to free up enough the cash to do it. So
Yeah, I did have to make quite a big sacrifice to get him in, which we'll move into now. We'll move on to the backs.
excellent. Let's get
So
it.
for halfback, Sam Walker, he's been in my team for ages. I had him last year. He's an attacking weapon. He's got multiple 150s in him this year, I think. I don't even think he goes that low. Like maybe there's the occasional 40 or 50, but I don't think he's going to score you a 20 unless he gets a head knock or an injury. So I love that. Roosters look very strong this year. DCE is second fiddle, as we saw in the trials. So all signs are pointing to Sam Walker. Dan Atkinson, not much to say there. He's been in most people's teams for the whole year. I do have him and Sanders at the moment. So if you're like me and have both, I would prefer having Sanders scoring this week. I don't think Atkinson's going to do much against the Dogs' defense. And I also don't really like having a cheapie in flex, but the sacrifices that I'd have to make to upgrade there, I'm just not willing to do. The sacrifice I was talking about with Marnie was going from Purdue to Cody Walker, and I really don't like it. I really don't. He did really well against a very understrength Manly. What's he going to do against teams that are kind of, performing the way that they should be? There's the injury risk there, and I'm not that keen on it. I'm just hoping he can make me a bit of money, and then I can move him to Purdue. But then again, Purdue could go crazy and make a bunch of money as well. So, yeah, that's definitely the weak point of my team at the moment. Jonah Pezzett on the bench. Obviously, everyone's going to have him. Then we've got Farmworth. Just with before the stat change, I was like, he could... Like, he's going to score points regardless. It's just a matter of, is he going to drop a bit of cash? Is he going to maintain his price? And I think he's a lot more likely to maintain his price with the boost to centres. Kale Iro, I think he's going to be a big attacking weapon for the Sharks with Mulatalo gone. Maybe they go over to the other side a little more, but I still think Kale Iro is going to be very involved. He's got amazing base. I've gone Latrell to Brian To'o. I just think To'o is going to be more consistent and has the base stats. If Latrell doesn't get an attacking stat, I think he's in for some underwhelming scores, and that's just kind of the way I was feeling about that. Cobbo, he's going to be very popular outside Farmworth. Very nice little combination there whenever, Herbie makes a line break and then passes it out to Cobbo. That's just points galore. On the bench, not too much to go over here. Makasini, everyone should have him. I was very hesitant in the last few videos about him. I take all of that back. He's a gun pick. If he doesn't make the side, he'll probably get signed by another team. So Benji has to play him. Dral Skelton is also a little bit injured. Whether he would have got the spot outside of Skelton's injury, I still think he would have, but it's just kind of a little question mark there. He's not like 100% locked in, but he's 100% locked into my team after the trials. So love it. Faye Marnie and Sedu too, they're borderline, or I'm just going to say it, they're must-haves. 201k, both starting on the wing. They've shown really good signs in the trials. Go for it. Drinkwater. What do we even need to say? What do we even need to say? He's an
You're on
attacking
the
weapon. All the attacking, not all the attacking plays, but most of them, Drinkwater's going to be involved in. Sure, fullback's going to take a bit of a hit losing those sweeping plays, but I'm not concerned. I think he scored, what was it, like 100 and something in the first half of a trial game?
something like 110.
Yeah, God. I mean, it is a trial, but that being said, we know what Drinky can do. He is consistently one of the highest scoring, not even just fullbacks, one of the highest scoring players in Supercoach every single year. So I want him. Keanu Kinney in everyone's team. Don't need to go over it too much. And Sanders back here at flex. This is basically just with the money I've got left. I've got about 30k in the bank. So I need a near enough bottom dollar cheapie to fit in here. And I just think Sanders with the goal kicking is sort of, I don't know. This is another one I don't feel great about. But as long as he
Yeah.
makes me a little bit of money, then I could move him up to, say he makes 100k, then maybe I could slot a Luch in there if he doesn't explode at the start of the year. So there will be options to move him. Definitely not going to be holding on to two cheapy halfbacks for long. Yeah, hopefully one of him or Atkinson can score a try and just get that cash boost going, and then I can get rid of him sooner.
Can I ask it? Like, have you gone with the extra cheapy halfback because you don't have the four cheapy CT dubs? Like I've got the four. You've only got three. Are you essentially saying you still want to, you still need that extra cheapy, but you don't want to sacrifice one of your center wingers and one of your starting center wingers to make that play for that fourth cheapy in the CTW spot instead? Is that why you've
So
gone for Sanders and Atkinson?
yes. So I think basically here it's just I'm weighing up. So I was gonna have Sanders regardless. So I initially put Atkinson into my flex and then swapped him because I think Sanders is a better one to play this week. Um, it kind of just comes down to Atkinson as a final cheapie or Tom Chester. And Tom Chester's injuries just worry me. And also with Zach Labart coming back into the, well, potentially coming back into the Cowboys side, he may not even get to that first price rise and then be a bit of an AE nightmare. So I think Atkinson or Sanders in this case is just that little bit safer than Chester. But I don't mind the Chester pick. I actually was playing around with a build where he was my fullback two for a while to just free up heaps of money. But it just seems like a bit of risk that I can dodge.
Yep. All right. Well, I can get behind most of your team. Cody Walker, I'm actually okay with. That's not a problem at all. I think Sanders in flex is gross, but I got to
Yeah,
beat you somehow,
it is
so I'm
gross.
not going to can't give you too many tips.
I'll just put Sanders up
Maybe.
in my halfback one and put Sam Walker back there so it looks a bit better, even though it's exactly the same.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, yeah. So Sam Walker, you said it. He's the head chef. He's doing everything. I think as far as the halfbacks go this year, he's got the most try assist potential. And with the halfbacks taking a bit of a hit there, then that's where I'm thinking Sam Walker. He's not going to suffer from that at all. Most of his try assists come off awesome little kicks and stuff like that. Even when somebody puts up a bomb, there's a chance for two try assists to go out. So if the center jumps up and taps it back, they get the try assist, but so does Sam Walker, who put up the kick. So yeah, look, I think Sam Walker's a great play in the halfback two. I'm going for Atkinson. He's the running one of the two options. I think he's got more experience in first grade than Sanders, and from when I've seen him play, he's been more exciting to watch than Sanders as well. So yep, Atkinson for me. I'm keeping Purdue in that six spot. Like I've said on previous videos, I'm a big fan of putting an overpowered center position into a 5'8" spot. If it doesn't work out after, 10, 12 weeks or something, I'll look to move him on towards like a Munster or an AJ or something. Considering it'll probably be Origin time by then. Jonah Pezzett in 5'8" of course, everyone has him. I did go away from Herbie. I want Herbie very badly, but I suspect he's going to average, about 70 to 80 for the first couple of weeks while they get all their stuff sorted out, especially their timing in the back line. So he'll be a workhorse and he won't let you down, but I feel like he might drop just a little bit of cash. And at that same time, Selwyn Cobbo should go up a little bit of cash. So my plan is essentially to upgrade Cobbo to Herbie in
I
about
like that.
round 5 or 6 or something. So that's my play there. Crichton as my piece of the Bulldogs. He's gone over to the left side. Looks like he's kind of locked into goal kicking as well. So, yep, that's going to be awesome. And I can definitely get behind Crichton. I am playing Setu 2 this weekend. His story that came out about the adversity that he's been through to get to this point was awesome. So I'm really looking forward to cheering for him. Yeah, so I did go for the 4 cheapy CT dubs in order to get this cash generation going. Maccassini's essentially a must-have. He's so good. Chester's the one that I'm not sure about, but I've just gone with it because I want to generate cash, and you need a certain amount of cheapies in your team. So, yep. If I need to, I can switch Maccassini in, toggle that R from Faye Marnie onto Cobbo or something, and do my captaincy loop there as well. So I've got that all sort of planned out if need be. Everyone in here is locked in for me. Pending like an injury or something. But yep, everyone here is locked in. No doubts in my mind. Scott Drinkwater, I think he's going to have the best first 5 weeks out of all the fullbacks. So I'm jumping on that train. If I'm wrong, I'll jump off, before he drops cash or around 4 or 5 if a better option presents himself. Kinney is going to be great. Look, he did score only 18 points in the trial against Melbourne Storm. But I can tell you, he looked dangerous every time he touched the ball. So I'm not worried about that as a season average thing. He might go a little bit low. But again, he only played one half of footy. So
Yeah.
worst case scenario, he probably still would have scored 40 points. And even though that's not what you want from your fullback, he's only priced at sort of 500,000. So it's fine. If that's as low as he goes as the season kicks off, and then he's pumping out 150s every third week or so, I'll be stoked.
I'd even
Farlongo,
say,
yeah,
with Keeney, if that's like 40 in pretty much pure base. So
yeah,
like if that's his base stats, he only needs one minor attacking stat and he's at his value. If he scores a
yep,
try, if he gets a try assist, then he's making money, and that's what we got him
yep,
for. So
yeah. Absolutely. And he could be a gun, honestly. He's got the right play style to be. He reminds me of Reece Welsh, the way he
yeah,
plays. He really tries to run first, break through the line, then he looks for a pass afterwards, or he's fast enough to accelerate out and draw in the outside defender and then get that pass away, create space for his centers and wingers. He's just really electric. He with his pace and his size, he's a threat every time on the edge. So yeah, and even with the kick returns, like you never know if he's just going to make a line break out of nothing on the kick return. Same exact thing for Farlongo. So yeah, just his footwork and the way he moves and his ability to just push through defenders, Farlongo and Kinney. I'm really looking forward to having them both in my team to start the year. And all 3 of these fullbacks could be season keepers, but at the same time, I'm happy to move probably Farlongo on to somebody who emerges and has a good streak coming up, potentially like like a Ponga if he turns out to be good this season, or even like a Fletcher Sharp or something. Yeah, I'm also looking to jump onto Reece Walsh for round 4. So hopefully I don't have to sacrifice Drinkwater to do that. But if I need to, I will. Otherwise, I'm looking for a big price jump from Farlongo or Keeney, and hopefully able to get me up to Reece Walsh for round 4 while keeping Drinkwater.
you know what? That Fletcher Sharp shout. Maybe when I go Reed Marnie down to Brandon Smith, maybe my other trade could be Cody Walker to Fletcher Sharp. That would really bolster my team. Yeah, I'll definitely be taking note of that.
Yeah, the Knights are a complete I don't know what's going to happen with their team in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what sort of minutes the forwards are going to get. I'm not sure what the spine's going to look like. So I've essentially faded every night. Like I don't even have Mooney.
Yeah,
I went
wow,
for
that's a big
I
one.
went I went for Luciano Leilua instead of Trey Mooney.
Yeah, I definitely I respect the sort of pod moves you've gone for in the forwards. It's yeah, I like that a lot. Otherwise our
I did,
teams would be very, very well, I suppose you're in the center wing, you're quite different as well. And the fullbacks.
yeah.
So yeah.
I want to touch on center wing for a second. I said everything in here is locked in. There's one thing that I was heavily considering here instead to free up some money, and in the same sort of vibe as going for the budget Herbie in Cobbo with a plan to upgrade him. I was thinking instead of Eero of going Ramian and going with like
Yeah.
all these guys kind of around that 5 to 600 instead of getting a gun center because a lot of people are spending big in CTW. If I can save a bit there, I could really, move some money around and make some bigger plays in some other positions as well. So I did consider that, and I actually think that Ramian's quite a good shout in the same sense as Cobbo. But couldn't bring myself to do it because I think Eero is just a beast. He's just a really
Yeah.
good football player. I love watching him play every time he gets it. I feel like he's about to bust tackles and make something happen, and I think he's hungry for some tries as well. So I couldn't bring myself to do it. I think Eero is more like the season hold, whereas Ramian would be like a play him for 6 weeks and then look to upgrade to Eero.
Yeah, I think so. But in saying that, if anyone has Ramian in their team, I think that is a very smart pick.
Yeah.
With, Mulatalo out, he's sort of a strike weapon on the other side alongside Sione Katoa. Not sure what he's priced at. Probably wouldn't be going Katoa, but yeah, Ramian I can definitely get around. That is that. If anyone has any questions for their teams, feel free to leave them down below, as well as your tips for this weekend. It's starting to get really excited. Kicking off tomorrow. Oh, footy's finally back. How good is
Let's
it?
go. Yep, got some mates coming over from the draft league. We're going to have some burgers or something and watch the footy all day. So it's going to be great. We've got classic leagues galore going on as well. Make sure everybody, all your friends are getting in the leagues and stuff as well. Join the group league, folks. We got prizes for first, second, and third. It's already up to 780 at $2, and it will keep growing throughout the season. Get your tips in the comments. I got the Cowboys 13 plus, Bulldogs 1 to 12. You can add a try scorer or something if you want as well. But join the group league 899-247. Get your mates in there as well. And check out flatoutfooty.com if you like the sound of a rugby league board game.
And definitely do check it out. I've seen how it works. It looks so fun. Can't wait to play it. Cool. We'll see ya for the wrap up of the Vegas games. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Catch ya.